it's 5 past, then I think we should start. What do you
Yes,
think?
I think so too. And again, we are recording the space, and so we can make it available to other listeners who aren't able to join live. Okay, so everyone, thank you very much for joining us today. This Discord AMA is going to cover the ALEX Bridge Incentivized Testnet as well as our roadmap going ahead. I'm going to pass the microphone to Chanda to lead us into the introduction, and then we'll have a back and forth of questions that we've received from audience members, as well as that'll explain more about Alex Bridge, security measures, as well as our roadmap ahead.
Okay, great. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Qian De. Thank you for joining us today. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank all the new members in our Discord community. And obviously, special thanks to our legacy members who have been with us since the beginning and have supported Alex since our launch. And we have gone through a long crypto winter, and we hope now we are entering the spring for Bitcoin layer. So this AMA, it looks like we are a small group, and I actually welcome that, which means that we can have a more lively discussion among us. So maybe Hadan, we could spare some time at the end to pull people up if they have questions and want to have a discussion with us.
Of course, sounds good.
Okay, great. So I think let's just I see Rachel is here. Also would like to pull her up later to say hi to everybody. So we this app we haven't done AMA for a while. For various reasons. Obviously, we have gone through the winter, and also behind the scene, the team has been very much focused on building all the infrastructures that we think that is essential for the next bull market. So it's not that we have been stopping working. On the contrary, I think the team, both on the foundation side as well as the Alex technology side, where Rachel is that Rachel is basically the lead there. She basically with everybody every week so that we can achieve what's needed. And on the foundation side, as you know, that Hadam, Mark, Hirogemo, Verna is here, Kryptonia, Oscar is not here. I don't see him, and they have been very busy, educating old as well as new members and setting up various program for the community. So later maybe Hadan can talk a little bit more about that. So today is the topic is about the bridge. But again, if we are a small group like this, we should have an open discussion about everything you want to know about Alex. So now, number one is the why we are building an Alex bridge. And then as you all of you know that a bridge is a very important piece of infrastructure. Without bridge, your chain is like an isolated island. You are not communicating with all the intellectual power as well as the liquidity outside your particular chain. And my very humble opinion has been always that a chain should be built by a much bigger entity such as Stacks Foundation. Okay, I'm just being very frank here. But we have been, I mean, there were some articles coming out of Stacks Foundation about various bridges that have been planned and built. But Rachel and I have been waiting and waiting and waiting. And we just told each other, you know, through it, apologies of my language, we're just going to build it because there's just no way we can just continue to just wait for other people to build. So we decided to build this bridge ourselves. And number one, you want to ask why Alex want to build Alex Bridge. Well, we are building the Alex Bridge because we want to bring the Bitcoin value to the multi-chain. As you all know, Alex is a Bitcoin DeFi. And if you think of us like a Uniswap, but with all the transactions settled on Bitcoin, then our goal should be progressively enable the Bitcoin settlement that particular value proposition for all crypto users. So that's the reason why we think ALEX Bridge is a very important piece of infrastructure. Now, as you all know, that's why we are here together. Bitcoin is very unique in its decentralization and immutability, right? Its 14-year track record, network uptime, market cap, recognition as a store of value. These are unmatched. And recently, the interest in Bitcoin layers has been surging, especially with the popularity of Ordinals. That later we can discuss a little bit more about what Alex's contribution to Ordinal will be. And also the users' interest in joining our ecosystem currently have been going through almost like, it's a spring, as we like to say, spring of Bitcoin layer. But the trouble of all the new users, all the people who are curious about DApps, about Bitcoin layer, about Ordinals, they have trouble onboarding. We have trouble onboarding them. So they have to go through all the trouble of go to a centralized exchange, get some stacks, and then come to Alex to do all the DeFi they wish to do, which is, really not optimal. Now, as Alex is built on Bitcoin layer 2, there's really lack of a compatibility with other ecosystem like Ethereum, Cosmos, Solana, etc., etc. So the Alex Bridge will begin by linking USDT, which is a Tether stablecoin, on Ethereum to SUSDT on Alex. So the S stands for sugar. So it will be Ethereum USDT to SUSDT, which is a stats that you can use in stats or on Alex. And later, obviously, the bridge, once the technology is there, the infrastructure is there, that's designed by our CTO Chang and our wonderful devs team. Want to shout out to them. Once the technology is there, you pretty much can wrap, any tokens you want from the Stacks ecosystem to other chain and vice versa. So we are already thinking about the SBTC that is going to launch in a few months. That will be the most decentralized Bitcoin that you can use in a smart contract on DeFi, etc. And we want to bring the bridge can bring this SBTC to multi-chain. That's why bridge is a very, very important piece of infrastructure for us to deliver Bitcoin value to multi-chain.
Excellent. Thank you, Chanda. So to get started, the first general question that we have from a lot of users is, how does the ALEX Bridge work?
Sure. But before I talk about how it works, I want to give people some statistics. But then when did you guys tweet out the testnet of the bridge? It was what, last week?
It was on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay, so it's less than 6 days that Hadan and the team tweeted out about the testnet of this bridge. But the reception has been so overwhelming about the testnet. And this is very, very encouraging. I want to quote some stat that Mark and Hadan just provided to me. To date, there are over 20,000 signups via the blog survey and 20K signed up, right, for the testnet. And our Discord has gained more than 18,000 new members. And our Twitter, the Alex Lab BTC Twitter, has gained more than 18,000 new followers. Right. So if you look at rest of the crypto landscape, and then compare with this this warm reception about testnet, now this is something that people think is urgent, and there's a huge demand for this bridge. That's why we know this is needed, but we are also blown away by how strong the response has been. Okay, now coming back to the more important question is, how does Alex Bridge work? So it works as the following. So users, you, me, we have to provide both an Ethereum and the Stacks layer wallet address. At the moment, there are two Stacks wallets that you could download. One is Hero, the other one is Express. Both are very, very strong wallets. And later down the road, we want to invite both of them to come to our AMA. So You need both. You need Ethereum wallet, you need Stack wallet. But once it's there, the USDT, the Tether, the USDT is wrapped into SUSDT, or the SUSDT, which is on Stack, you can be unwrapped into USDT. And ALEX will receive a very, very small transaction fee. Okay. And the transaction fee, the funds that are going to be wrapped will be held by ALEX in a multi-sig wallet on Ethereum. So in launching this ALEX Bridge, of course, behind our neck is always, the security, right? The security is the number one question that people have about a bridge. And every time we read the news, it's all about the bridge. So we are doing everything we can, but I have to say this out loud, is that we cannot eliminate 100% of the risk. But this is what we have done to minimize the risk. Okay, so we are doing a very proper testnet, we are doing a very proper progressive mainnet launch, and also we are doing bug bounty, and also the third-party security audit is ongoing and it should be done before the mainnet. So okay, so this is what we are going to do, and all this procedure is not because we have a lot of time to do this. These are really the procedures to basically maximize the security of this particular bridge. So early next week, that's what Rachel told me just now, early next week, we will start with a 2-week incentivized testnet, for which we already have over 20,000 signups. Okay. And we will reward the community members who contribute with bug hunting and UI UX suggestions. Obviously, different suggestions will have a different reward. And as you know, many of you know, ALEX Foundation, so Oscar, Hadan, Mark, Hero, Verna here, and also with our new community leader, I want to shout out also to Mike and Nicola here. They are here to help us to guide through this process, and they are I would say, the witness, knowing that we have been very, very generous. The foundation have been very, very generous in rewarding testnet users. Okay, so everybody would you will read more information in our Medium, in Twitter, and we will announce in Discord when the testnet is about to start. Again, please contribute. We are Web3. ALEX protocol is yours, is ours. If you want to have ALEX token, please contribute. So that's the testnet. Now, after testnet, there will be a mainnet whitelist with limited access for the first week or so. Why do we want to do that? We don't want, the system being overwhelmed or the Stacks mainnet being overwhelmed. So we want to start slowly but surely, very steadily. Okay. So this is again a very precautionary measure. We want to observe the performance, the speed of the bridge, and also possible breaches. We want to catch it. So we want to limit the impact of any potential exploit. So again, to summarize, the mainnet will first be whitelisted with a limited access. So that's the second part. We have an ongoing bug bounty with ImmuneFi. You can read it on our Medium article. I think later maybe Hadan we can put all the links here on Discord again. It's very, very generous. Very, I would say, it's worth your time. This bug bounty program. We have already shared quite a lot of prices with the contributors. Okay. So the ongoing bug bounty is with ImmuneFi, very well set up and with significant reward for those who catch critical threat. Okay. And then we, as always, we never spare money in this part. And this is so important for us. And by the way, when you use other protocols, please make sure that the smart contract has been audited. You lock your money in a smart contract, this smart contract need to be audited. You can be cynical saying there are certain protocols that have been audited 9 times but still has exploit. But imagine without the audit, how many exploit, more exploit there could be. Okay, so this is a budget that Rachel never spares. She always put enough budget for the third-party security audit. And the third-party security audit is currently ongoing. And once it's complete, we will publish the report as always, and it will be complete before the mainnet launch. Okay, so this is the 4 measures that we have implemented in order to minimize the exploit of the bridge. Now,
Right. Yes.
coming, that's more important is that the approval for wrapping and wrapping, this will be done by a set of independent validators, right? Who monitor the transaction of on each side of the chain, and they will validate the transaction. And we are currently working with the Stack ecosystem to identify a set of independent validators. So again, all this information we will publish in the coming days on Medium, Twitter, as well as Discord.
Yes, absolutely. As we go through all the steps that Chanda outlined, these will be announced, and we'll publish the security audit for the code. We'll explain more how to contribute and go through the test net. We'll explain the entire bridge mainnet whitelisting process. And so please stay posted and continue following our social channels for more details on all of those. To go to our
Okay,
next
just give me,
question.
that
Oh,
sounds so
go ahead.
serious. Everybody gets so scared because of the security measure. So just give me 10 seconds to shout out. I see Maddie is here. I see Kylie is here. Resh is here. Hero Gamer. Just want to say hi. All right.
All right. Yeah. Hi,
Next.
everyone. Okay. So the next major question would be once we have a bridge and it's working, why would people cross the bridge and come over
Yeah.
from Ethereum to Alex? Right? That's
Yeah,
a
I know.
great question.
I was joking. I said, okay, you build this beautiful bridge and you arrive at the other side, which is Stacks. What happens? Stacks is a desert, and there's nothing you can do with your SUSDT, right? So we can tell you that that's not the case. Stacks is a very vibrant ecosystem, right? So once you the bridge is built, right, you can come to Stack, and there are lots of things you can do. The Ethereum user, you will be able to bring your liquidity onto ALEX. You can swap your SUSDT to different ecosystem tokens. I'm just so happy as of today. There are really good projects that built on Stacks. Think about the wallet, right? Xverse, Hero, and think about the NFT marketplace such as Gamma, and there are a few really strong projects now currently on Stacks that you can go explore. You can go to buy Bitcoin NFTs on Gamma. You can inscribe on Gamma. You can go to Acadico and play around and get a loan via USDA. Or if you want to manage your portfolio, there are certain stable coins, there's BTC, wrap BTC on it, etc., etc. So do whatever you do with your usual DeFi protocol. So that's one thing. And also, particularly on ALEX, obviously we are biased. On ALEX, you can do a lot, right? You can swap into ALEX or Auto ALEX, and Auto ALEX is the one that just a continuous staking. Basically, you get your interest. You can yield farm. You can be the liquidity provider on a different token pools. As the crypto winter falls the market, we expect to see more IDOs of a new project that will be launched on our launch pad. And also there will be more tokens that is going to be, permissionlessly list on our AMM pool. So we expect there will be more exciting news in the coming months. That what
Um,
you can do on Alex. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
And
oh, oh, you also can buy Bitcoin domain, BT's domain name. I think that's very exciting as well.
yeah, absolutely. As well as stacking, right? People
Oh,
can
yeah.
stacks. Yeah.
That's
That's a big driver because Stacks is really unique as the only L 1.5 where you can earn a native Bitcoin yield. And so,
right.
yeah, so if you think about it before, people from Ethereum who wanted to get that yield, they have to go to a centralized exchange. And anyone who's used it knows that it can be a clunky process. It can take, 10 stacks blocks or hours for confirmation that your tokens have gone through, and it's a volatile token that can move 5%. And so this really makes the process that much smoother to access all that the Stacks ecosystem has to offer. So we're
That's
very
right.
excited about
You
making that
never have to
accessible.
go to centralized exchange anymore, basically, with the bridge.
Absolutely. And again, going from USDT Tether on Ethereum to SUSDT on ALEX, that's just the first token of several that we hope to introduce. And so this is just the very beginning, guys. And we're going to, we're really looking to link to the multi-chain as we build out the offerings that we have.
Right. Yeah.
And
Okay, so our order will be without without
mhm,
putting specific weighting on each order, is that once you wrap your USDT into SUSDT, you can swap this SUSDT on Alex into stacks STX. Then you can start stacking. Stacking, you will get a Bitcoin yield. So that's a beautiful part of it. And the yield, I think historically has been around 7 to 12%, right? Annualized, the APY is about 7 to 12% in Bitcoin. Then you can get some Alex token, you can stake it, or you can change it into auto Alex to automatically stake it. You can farm it, you can participate into different liquidity pools, or you can invest or participate in some emerging projects.
yes, and on Alex, there already is a stable coin XUSD, which is wrapped USDC. Just to let everyone know, that will continue to serve as a stable coin on our ecosystem. We'll create a stable swap, so you can go from XUSDC to SUSDT on Alex. Um, and so that will continue to be there and give you an option of stable coins because as we saw in March when over the weekend that things were a bit unsure about Silicon Valley Bank, USDT briefly depegged. And that also made us realize how important it is for our users to have a choice of different major hard peg stable coins that they can hold and utilize. And so,
Yeah.
this is all for the benefit of our users and our community.
That's
Um,
right. And then there will be also, they're currently already USDA. So at the moment, the stable swap is USDA
yes.
XUSD, and
Mhm.
we would add the SUSDT onto it as well,
Absolutely. And
and then
so,
people can trade a premium.
yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
So as we look ahead towards our 2023 roadmap, Alex is going to be looking to create even more reasons for people to cross the bridge and come to Bitcoin layers than there have been before. And so the first major item that perhaps you could talk a bit about, Chanda, would be the trustless ordinal trading and what Alex is looking to offer.
Right. Okay. I think this is really exciting. Um, Ordinals, it marked a major shift in the use case of Bitcoin from purely a monetary store of value to a store of information. You like the JPEG or not, but it has been estimated that by March 2025, Ordinal could have a market cap of over 1 billion US dollars, right? So there exists currently this is several notable Ordinal marketplaces. Gamma among it. Gamma is our friend, is a very strong partner within the Stacks ecosystem. And just this week, the famous Magic Eden, which has 1.5 million users, has also added Ordinal to their offering. Now, Alex is not an NFT platform, and we don't have the intention of becoming one, right? What is Alex? Alex stands for Automated Liquidity Exchange, and that's what Alex is there for. So our goal is to increase the liquidity and make the market more efficient. and the market including ordinal trading market. And we increase the liquidity, increase the efficiency through Bitcoin layer solutions. That's who we are, and that's why we are here. So coming back to the current ordinal market, at the moment, they all use PSBTs, stands for partially signed Bitcoin transaction, which are L1 solution, L1 solution, right? Now, that means that when you list an ordinal for sale, you post how much Bitcoin you want for it, you sign in your half of the contract, and if someone else agree to pay that amount in Bitcoin, the other half is signed, and then the swap occurs. So it's a little bit clunky. Now, what if you want to auction your ordinals to allow for better price discovery? What if you want to pay for an ordinal using a stablecoin, USDT? What if you want to use your ordinal as a collateral to borrow funds? Or you want to fractionalize an ordinal ownership? Or you want to create an ordinal collection bucket so user can participate in incremental amounts, etc., etc. So these functionalities, where we like to say DeFi means NFT, requires Bitcoin layer smart contracts, which are what ALEX is building. Our goal, again, is to increase the efficiency and utility of any assets, which including ordinals. We want to increase the efficiency and utility of ordinal trading and ownership. So as a liquidity exchange, we welcome trading activities of every variety, and we are working to help ordinal realize the full potential as a tradable asset class. And that's why ALEX currently is also building a trustless ordinal trading, but not just through the L1 solution. We are building one using smart contract. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And if people have questions afterhand, please post to the channel, and we'll be glad to discuss the answers. And also, it isn't anything new, by the way. It's not that ordinals came out and Alex came out with this idea. If you look back on our Medium article in May of last year, when we were looking at a roadmap for 2023, we mentioned an NFT meets DeFi solution, where as our order book DEX is built out and becomes more sophisticated, we can use that with ordinal trading as well, which would be very exciting, as it would provide for near instantaneous transaction confirmation times, and other very useful functionalities that we believe will again continue increasing the liquidity, efficiency, and user experience of ordinal trading to really make them very competitive with what you see with Ethereum NFTs, for instance. And so with the mention of that, that brings us to another major item we're very excited about, which is our order book DEX. So Enchanta, please let us know. Yeah.
Right. So our AMM is there. It's a Uniswap type of AMM. But when it comes to trading, I think the launch of our order book DEX will be very transformative for several reasons. So number one, the most convenient is that an order book DEX allows you to enter a trade with a very clear stop loss and take profit taking levels. And this is much more, I think, more mature type of trading style than having to watch the market 24/7 and to trade swap price with an AM DEX. So that's number one. Number two, an order book also provide traders with market depth informations. You observe the volumes of a buy via sell orders that are listed, and you can infer whether the sentiment is bullish or bearish, as well as how much volume you are likely to be able to execute at a given time. And I think the most frequent complaint we hear from the multi-chain user is that when they come to ALEX, is the 10 to 30 trade confirmation time. Because Stacks is settled on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has its 10 minutes block time, right? So our order book DEX, we use a hybrid, off-chain order matching engine with an on-chain order settlement. That's really, I would say, the biggest motivation for us to build order book DEX is that the order book DEX enable nearly instantaneous trade confirmation while maintaining the security assurance of the final settlement on Bitcoin. So that's the reason, I think the first reason why we wanted to build a order book DEX. And the order book DEX has gone through some testnet, right, Hadan?
Yes, we had the testnet for our order book that was in the autumn of last year and continued for several months. And yeah, our community was very well rewarded. One of the major contributors was Mike Bear, and so thanks again to him. And as that rolls out, we'll be seeing with the Alex team. We'll post links to the beta where people can see how the order book decks will work and function in the future. And so as we near that as well, we'll also have these rollouts so people can familiarize themselves with the UI, UX, and how best to use them. But
And I
yes,
think
it's really
there's some
exciting.
chat about some trading competitions.
Yeah, I think that would be very exciting. Something that we can offer is with bringing back, especially since we have over 20,000 testnet signers who have signed up. That after they look over ALEX Bridge, we can open up a trading competition on the order book decks. And so people can experiment with it and see how it is that they do on the order book decks. And those who trade particularly well, say a pair like whether it stacks Bitcoin or Bitcoin versus a stable coin, we're very excited to see how
Right.
people do. And so I think that would be a fun interactive, and of course that would be incentivized. So there would be rewards for those who do best. And so
So we have just gone through really three major launches of Alex, I would say before September. The first one will be the Bridge, which is going to launch the testnet imminently, and a 2-week testnet, followed by mainnet. Then we are going to launch trustless order book. I'm sorry, trustless ordinal trading platform, and then we are going to launch the order book DEX. And all this hopefully will be in the next few months that we're going to launch. So it's going to be very, very exciting for Alex.
yes, and we'll keep everyone posted along the way with how you can contribute with incentivized test nets. And so, stay tuned to our social channels, to our Discord, our newsletter. Well, we'll make all those announcements known and provide instructions and next steps to follow.
All right. So shall we go to Q&A?
Yes. So the Q&A is drawn from our Discord AMA channel where users have been able to post questions that they've been listed. The first one, just going in the order in which they were posted, will be does bridging or using the bridge need a stacks fee or a Bitcoin mainnet fee?
Okay, so the bridge fee is paid from a small percentage of the asset being transferred. So because we are wrapping USDT, so the fee will be USDT or SUSDT, so either side of the asset.
Okay,
So no
great.
stacks and no Bitcoin.
Right. A second would be, does the bridge generate any fees for the ALEX protocol? And if so, will they be allocated to the treasury or is there a different plan for this revenue?
Mhm. So yes, Alex received a very small fee from each transfer, and these fees are sent to the Alex Lab Foundation treasury, and everything is unchanged, so it's very transparent. And how those funds will be used will be decided by the governance vote. Maybe we should also, I think the foundation team should maybe also write a Medium article about this. And also, please know that the ALEX fee is on top of the network gas fee. Okay, so the network gas fee is not included.
Okay, great. And then the next question would be concerning the bridge feature of the project. What plans are in place to minimize the gas fees, as this is one of the major issues users face when using bridges?
Right. So, I mean, gas fee is important to both the users and also the platform, right? So, because it impacts the user experience. So, as a recap, the user will pay gas fee to send USDT as USDT to the bridge to wrap and unwrap, respectively. So the bridge covers the gas fee to send USDT as USDT to users to unwrap and wrap, respectively. So on our end, we are doing what we can to optimize our code to reduce the gas fee for our users and also for the bridge. But the gas fee is inherent to the underlying blockchain. So a fundamental change cannot happen unless the blockchain itself changes. To that end, we are considering expanding our bridge to, for example, an L2 of Ethereum, for example, Arbitrum, right? As well as other EVM chains, for example, Binance. Now, both of which have lower gas fee than the Ethereum main chain. So this is definitely, what we are aspiring to. So that's about the gas fee. When we are launching the mainnet, we are speaking to experts that we could do for the limited amount of time sponsored transaction, which means that you mine the gas fee, the underlying gas fee will be paid by ALEX as well as expert for the very limited amount of time, as kind of encouraging people to use it.
Okay, excellent. And then another question we've had is, would the bridge use an aggregator to make fetching the best routes for users to use?
So the first version of the bridge is a one-to-one wrap bridge without any swap or aggregation. Okay. However, we do look at bridge as part of the asset exchange process, which includes swap. So we are looking at integrating bridge with swap, at which point the aggregators will be integrated too. And this will make a much, much better UX, of course.
Right. And so, of course, with time, we'll be steadily improving and building upon the bridge to make it as smooth a UI, UX as possible for our users as crypto continues evolving and growing. And so, Chanda, just so we open the floor a bit for some questions, I know around 10 that you'll have to hop off. And so before we get to closing, I'm just going to go through the audience and look at who might have their hand raised and bring them up to the stage. So I see Habib Sui Swap. So let me just invite to speaker. One moment. And let's see if they're able to join. Okay. Okay, no. Let me see. All right, we've got another hand raised. Invite to speak. And let's see if they accept. No, okay. If not, I think we might have covered the questions that they had as we went through the Q&A.
Right. If not, we always can continue on Discord. So
Yes,
that
yeah.
particular channel or chapter is open about the bridge. And please post any question you have, and all the community leaders, Rachel, myself, we will all hop there and answer your question.
Yes, absolutely. All right, and so Chanda, what would you like to say in closing to wrap up our AMM?
Sure. We don't do often AMA. As you know, Alex, the technology, Alex Go, we are a very, very small team and the foundation as well. We work very well together, foundation technology team, hand in hand. But we are a very small team. We don't have, we don't have a professional marketing or strategies here to promote ALEX. We are who we are. What you read, what you see is us. As a reminder, or for the new users, new community members in this AMA here, Rachel and myself, we come from traditional finance. We are both financial engineers, so we firsthand experience the inefficiency of traditional finance that all of us at the moment are experienced as well. We're in the midst of I don't know if it's a mini, but definitely a financial crisis about the regional banks in the U.S. as well as Credit Suisse in Europe. So over and over again, whenever there's this crisis happening, the trust in the centralized in the TradFi as well as a centralized authority start to diminish, and you just start again to realize how appreciative we should be about this blockchain technology, particularly Bitcoin. And that's the whole reason why Rachel and I decided to build the DeFi on Bitcoin. Building DeFi on Bitcoin, it was a quite contrarian choice. The innovation, 99% of DeFi liquidity was on Ethereum or other blockchain. So our team, as experienced as we are as a financial engineer, we do need to spend time to build them, I would say the bridge and highways, and also the important piece of infrastructures before we can start doing something fancy, what you see on Ethereum. And that's why we spend lots of resources on building, for example, bridges, this type of infrastructure. And it was only a theory that the security of Bitcoin could be valuable for information as well as for money. But we already know the first time you see that a set become worth more than what it is, monetary value. So using set is not just as a money, but you can use for the storage of image, recording, and data, right? So we see that the innovation not only on L2, that is a exponential growing on L1 as well. So I think the ALEX, the technology team, always aspire to adopt the latest technology. Yes, I think on Saturday, there was a very smart investor asking me what we aspire to, where ALEX want to be in 1 year, in 3 years. And I think that's always a question that Rachel and myself, ask ourselves, right? Why are we here? Why are we in this space? What are we contributing, right? I see over and over again, there will be builders, they come and build, as I mentioned, build a smart contract and then want to lock people's money for doing things without spending the money to audit their smart contract. Or they just copy whatever it could be, it was successful on Ethereum, copied it onto stacks and hope it will be successful as well. Rachel and I, we are not satisfied by this type of approach. We want to contribute and we want to innovate and we want to be impactful. So that's why we are here. As you know, that we first built the AMM, we published a white paper that a few months later, actually I think 8 to 12 months later, the curve adopted the same methodology. So just want people to understand that who we are. Where do we want to be? With all these bits and pieces, the infrastructure in place, we want to deliver Bitcoin value to multi-chain. That's ultimately what we want to be. So in 1 year time, at the moment, we are already the biggest project on Stacks. So our TVL is, I think, like 85% of the Stacks DeFi TVL. Our wallet, active wallet number is also by far the biggest one on Stacks. But we want to be the dominant Bitcoin DeFi, and not just for the dominance of the dominance. We want to be the best in the sense of the most transparent, most secure, most efficient, and the fastest for you in terms of Bitcoin DeFi. In going forward in the midterm, if you think about there are over 300 trillion in real world assets that will be tokenized, because blockchain is just much more efficient technologies out there for us to use. We want to be the DeFi that the people trust to transact their tokenized assets. That's what we aspire to. So thank you everybody for getting up early or staying late to join our AMA. And our discussion with you will not stop after this AMA close. We continue on our Discord. Thank you, Hadan.
All right, thank you, Chanda. Thank you everyone for joining. And again, post any follow-up questions that you might have in our channel, and we'll be more than happy to answer. And stay tuned for more community events that we'll be hosting and questions that we'll be glad to answer. Everyone, have a great day or have a good night. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.